everyone, and welcome to a new tutorial. I hope you like it. In this design, I used approximately 350 grams of paper yarn, 45 grams of sequin yarn, and a 3.5mm crochet hook. I will add links in the description box where you can order from, along with a discount code for your first order. I will start with the paper yarn only to make the motif piece. I will wrap the yarn around my fingers this way and start making the puff stitch. I pull the yarn about 1.5 centimeters and wrap the yarn around the hook, then pull the yarn again and repeat the steps one more time. Now I pull the yarn through all the loops around the hook and make 2 chain stitches. This is how we made our first puff stitch, right? We repeat the same stitch until we have 8 puff stitches. Now we carefully pull the tail of the yarn and close the ring. We close the row with a slip stitch. We make another slip stitch in the next stitch. We make the starting stitch, then 1 single crochet. We make 3 chain stitches. In the next space, we make a puff stitch. We make 1 chain stitch, and in the same place, we make another puff stitch. We repeat the same thing one more time, and this way we have 3 puff stitches in the same space. We make 3 chain stitches, and in the next space we make 1 single crochet. We make 3 chain stitches, and in the next space we repeat the 3 puff stitches. We continue in the same way until the starting stitch of the row. We end up with 4 single crochet stitches and 4 lotus flower stitches. We close the row with a slip stitch. And another slip stitch in the next space. We make the starting stitch of the 3rd row, then 1 single crochet. We make 3 chain stitches, and in the next space we make 1 single crochet. At this point, we will make 4 chain stitches to get a clear corner. And in the remaining 3 corners, we make 4 chain stitches. Now in the next space, we make 1 single crochet, then 3 chain stitches. And we continue in this same pattern until we reach the starting point of the row. We close the row with a slip stitch. In the 4th row, we make the starting stitch, then 2 single crochet stitches. In the first corner, we make 2 single crochet stitches, 2 chain stitches, and 2 single crochet stitches, and we repeat this in the remaining corners. In the rest of the spaces, we only make 3 single crochet stitches. Now we cut the yarn and close the final row using the needle in this way. We will have made 2 more of this motif piece and we begin to sew them together. We turn the pieces over and start sewing from the back of the piece. In the corners, we previously made 2 chain stitches. We will leave 1 and start from the second one. We start sewing from the back loop of the stitch, not from the entire stitch. We sew the first stitch twice for securing. And we continue sewing until the first chain stitch in the next corner. In the last stitch we sew twice, then we hide part of the yarn and cut the rest. We sew the third piece with them onto the other end of one of the pieces so they look like this. Now we want to make a border for this piece. I choose any point and start with a single crochet stitch. With every stitch, I make one single crochet, and in the sewing area of the two pieces, I make one single crochet. In the corners, I make 3 single crochet stitches. Here as well, I cut the yarn and close the border with a needle in this way. Now, using the paper yarn together with a sequin yarn and a 3.5mm crochet hook, I start making 33 chain stitches. I will make a miniature piece as an example. In the third chain, I make a half double crochet. And I continue with the same half double crochet stitch until the end of the row. We make 2 chain stitches to start a new row, and I complete the row with a half double crochet stitch. I continue until I reach the length that I want. In the last row, I make 1 chain stitch to close the row. This piece is not measured by the number of rows, which came out to 27 rows for me, but by the length of the piece to be equal in length with the first piece we made. Now I start sewing the 2 pieces together from the inner side. I start sewing from the edge stitch in this piece with the back loop of the corner stitch of the second piece. I continue sewing until the end of the two pieces. Since the number of rows and stitches here is not equal, we need to focus on making the beginning and the end match perfectly in sewing. I secure the last stitch twice and hide the excess yarn. I turn the piece over and start making a three-sided border from the sides and the bottom using the single crochet stitch. I continue until the end of the row. In the side row, I got 44 single crochet stitches. Now, in the first stitch of the bottom row, I make one single crochet without any increase. I make one single crochet in every stitch. In the sewing area, I make one single crochet. Now I make one single crochet in the back loop of the stitch and continue this way. In this corner, we make a decrease of 2 stitches together to narrow the corner a little bit. Now on the opposite side we have 44 stitches, but on this side we have 47 stitches, so we will do a decrease in the prominent areas this way. Here we have a wavy prominent area. We will merge 2 stitches together to reduce the number of stitches and make it more of a straight line. And we repeat the same thing in the other 2 points. I finish the row and make one chain stitch to start a new row in the border. I make one single crochet in every stitch without any increase or decrease. And I go up to a 3rd row, so the border becomes 3 rows. You can make more rows if you wish. I close the border with a chain stitch and cut the yarn. We make another complete piece identical to the first piece. The most important thing is to pay attention to the number of stitches to be equal so that the bag does not get warped. Now we start sewing the 2 pieces together. We turn the 2 right sides facing each other and start sewing from the inside. We place the 2 edges together and I start sewing from the back loop of the stitch. We sew the first stitch twice for securing. We continue until the end of the side border. We sew every stitch together with its corresponding stitch. We sew the last stitch twice for securing and hide the excess yarn. We carefully turn the bag right side out. You can fill it with a lot of fabric and place a light cotton cloth over it and iron it with the steam iron carefully, especially the sides and the corners. At this point, we start making an upper border using the paper yarn only. I make one single crochet stitch in every stitch on the side with each row. I make one single crochet. The most important thing is that the number of stitches matches on both sides. Here I make the single crochet in the back loop of the stitch. We try here not to have any visible gap. Here as well, we make the single crochet stitch in the back loop of the stitch. We have reached the end of the row, and at the starting point, I make one single crochet to hide the first stitch. With the next stitch, I make a slip stitch and start a second row with a single crochet stitch. I went up only 2 rows. You can go up more rows if you want. I made 2 handles with a length of approximately 65 centimeters. I previously shared the method in other videos, and I will drop the link in the description box. We secure them with the needle and thread just like we do every time, and that is how our bag is ready. The width of the bag is 33 centimeters. The length of the bag is 30 centimeters. The length of the handle when folded is 32 centimeters. I hope you liked the tutorial. Do not forget to subscribe and like the video. See you in a new tutorial soon. Bye.